Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. If you're a first-time listener, thank you for stopping by. I am your host, Josh Lilquist, and we are happy to have you with us today. I'm a good friend, the stock master, the whole mastermind behind this whole operation, and his name is Al Connickson. Al, how are you doing today?
Well, I feel really good today, Josh. How about you?
You emphasize that really good today.
I feel good. I'm not sure why. I love doing the show. I guess maybe that's the reason.
Sun is shining, wind is blowing. What more could you ask for? Market is moving. Market is at all-time highs. Once again, we just keep surpassing those highs every single week. It's been a great month, great year for the market. And the retail investor is looking pretty good right now. We're going to talk about some of the opportunities that we have as retail investors in the markets, whether it's going up and if it's going down. We're going to talk about some different strategies here today, short-term income strategies. We will also discuss some longer-term wealth strategies. As we know, stocks are high, which means they are expensive. So we're going to talk about some ways to use stock essentially as a discount, using different assets. We're going to talk about using leverage, basically having your buying power or your money be more efficient so you can do more with less. And that allows more people to get into the financial markets. As we know, the markets are continuing those highs. S&P 500, obviously the SPY ETF above 500. The Dow Jones close to $400 per share. In the 90s, depending on when you listen to the show, 390s. And the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ ETF, getting up to about almost to $450 per share. So these are looking really good. The IWM has been that lagger, but then again, it is going up. It is really since the middle of November, we have seen an increase in the Russell, which has kind of been the slower mover. Up about 27% since the middle of November. So that one is also looking pretty good. Gold and silver, Al, really surpassing highs there as well. Looking at gold above $2,100 per troy ounce. And they had in silver almost, it hit $25 per ounce this week here, right at it this week. So commodities are looking good as far as the metals. Oil has also been going up over some time here, Al. And just looking at the USO ETF, which is the ETF for oil, and that's at $74 per share, depending on when you're listening to the show, right around there. So it's been moving up since the middle of December. Crude oil, the actual contract for oil, roughly around the close to the $80 mark, depending on when you're listening to the show. But we do have some supply overhead. That being said, Al, there's some great moves in the markets, and our listeners are wondering, what is your insight on this phenomenal market?
Well, this has been an interesting week. A lot of economic data. The CPI report came out this last Tuesday, and it showed a little bit of just a little bit of stickiness still in inflation. The interesting thing is the CPI came out, we'll call it hot, maybe
3.2%?
Right, and 3.1 was the expectation.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Maybe 6 months ago, a report like that would have caused the market to go into free fall. That didn't happen. Actually, the market went up. And I think what's happening is people are looking for little clues that they can grab onto because they want this market to keep going up. This is what we call kind of the euphoric part of the market.
Just to clarify what the CPI, it measures the change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers.
By the consumers, right. And then the PPI came out on Thursday. That it measures wholesale prices. So there was economic data that came out. And the market moves on that, but the market almost develops a sense of complacency, I guess, and loses its sensitivity to these things over time, which means you can't always count on what you thought might move the market or what moved it before.
Yeah, the news, the media outlets, they can't move the markets. And the hype doesn't either, but supply and demand is what does that.
Yeah, and basically we don't buy or sell based on news. We buy or sell based on what the charts are telling us, and everything you need to know is in the chart. Josh mentioned a few things in his introduction. He talked about commodities. He talked about oil, gold, silver. And a lot of you might be wondering, well, how do I do that? How do I invest in those assets? Those are the things that we talk about. There are different assets. It's not just the stock market. It's not just the mutual fund market. That's what most people might be familiar with. That's actually the smallest part of all the financial markets. And one of the things that I think is really important is to be able to participate in whatever part of the financial markets happens to be moving. There's always going to be, let's call it a bull market, no matter what's happening. Even in a what we'll call a bear market, where the market, the S&P, for example, is down over 20%. That's what we consider a bear market. But there's always something moving the opposite direction. And I've talked to so many people, Josh, in the last few weeks that say, I just don't know when to get into a position or when to get out of it. I don't know when to buy. I don't know when to sell. And when I do make these decisions, I always seem to either lose money or I don't make enough money. I don't make as much as I thought I could. Those things like the commodities that you mentioned, sometimes you can choose a position in something like a commodity. It could be sugar, corn, soybeans. It could be your favorite.
Lean hogs.
Lean hogs, that's a skinny pig.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. Oil, gold, those are all assets you have access to with the right strategies, and that's what we do. We show you what those strategies are. That should not be something just held kind of in the pocket of the financial firms. That's something you can do and you can benefit from.
Correct. It's a strategy that's been built over 26 years here at the Academy, and you mentioned something very interesting. You've been meeting with people, and they say they don't know when to get in or when to get out of positions. And that's the key of the financial markets, is how to identify where to be buying, where to be selling, or where to be shorting, and then covering those positions as profits are made as prices go down. So that's what we teach here at the Academy. We train strategies, whether you're looking for short-term income strategies, whether you're looking for long-term wealth strategies, whatever that soup du jour is, that's what we train and teach on the financial markets. So I want to invite everyone to an investing class that we do right here at the Academy. Matter of fact, we do these classes all across the metro area. We're doing classes in Edina, Maple Grove, Wayzata. We're down in Rochester. We're up in St. Cloud. So we're doing these classes in your backyards to make it easy to come to one of these investing classes and have the opportunity to improve your life. So text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now for 2 seats for an investing class right here at the Academy or in a neighborhood near you. These are 2-hour classes. And yes, it is just 2 hours of your time to have the opportunity to know more about what's going on in the financial markets, know more about the strategies, when to get in your positions, when to get out of your positions, and have smarter investing decisions. Text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's for 2 seats for an investing class. You're going to get a text right back with a link, and that will drive you right to our landing page, and you can pick your own date and location there. We made it very simple for you. Text investing to the number 210-210. Coming up next, we're going to talk about income strategies and wealth strategies, as I mentioned in the introduction, and different opportunities with those retirement accounts as well. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. We're hearing the opinions out there that we have the number one financial show here in the Metro. I like those opinions. We're going to make it the number one podcast. Go to Investing and Trading Live wherever you listen to podcasts. This is Josh Chanel, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.